We've acknowledged that, and now I have to go to the Simpson couch gay. And I guess I'm going to wonder what my old man thinks when he ever sees this on YouTube. I'll probably have something to say about it. So I might as well get to it. Simpson couch gay. It was just over a week ago, before the Super Bowl, I called my college roommate, first time I had heard from him in a while, and at some point we got to talking about my family, and then he referred to my stepfather as a twit, and it's like, okay, I guess that's one way to describe it. I had to look up the definition online. It's more of a British term. I just compared him to Homer Simpson being a half-witted oaf. People know what Homer Simpson is like. That works pretty well. I don't have to explain it any further. I'm demonstrative. I just say that. It's just like easier to point to things instead of having to describe everything to a T. So there we go. Now for the regular scheduled jokes. Actually, that kind of was one, but you didn't know, but I still have an agenda. Yeah, I had a college instructor my first semester said I had an ongoing monologue, and yet I still didn't have the courage to perform for a while after that. Go figure. When you're ready, as my aunt would say. Oh yes, this weekend, always something happening for me. I found a new karaoke venue. Yes, I'm known for my karaoke stories, and I guess sometimes it's liberating to say I've had enough, even though I don't like having to change. Sometimes change is for the better. Where I found a really nice venue where they actually have a barrier between me and the crowd. It's a lot easier to perform when you have that you're up on stage. So I sang Bad Day by REM. I mean, social commentary in it, also about the news media. That really works for me when I'm a stodgy academic. And I liked how I was able to diffuse the situation or break the ice with somebody who came over to me and said, "How you doing?" "Doing the best I can." I think he was a little unnerved wondering what I was staring at. It wasn't him. Off in the distance were TV monitors. There was a boxing match on one of those TV monitors. And I said I was watching boxing. So we talked about boxing for a while. It's like, good. I guess being intelligent can be helpful at times because I figured out good ways to fight with my mind instead of this way. Because I wasn't good at this way. I would lose all the time. Fight this way, I don't have to fight as much this way. I'm better at it. You live, you learn. And the karaoke story, I guess, that will be notable here is he said that he was going to have titty flashes while I was performing. And I said, I don't want anybody to get thrown out for that. And he was way in the back, and I'd already made a connection with him, so I went up to sing. I could hear him. It's like, cool, I've got a cheering section. So people say I'm pretty good at karaoke. Well, I'm just reading lyrics off the screen, but I guess with anything, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So maybe I have gotten better. I don't know. But if people like what I'm doing, then hey, more power to them. I've got more reason to continue with it. So it was Oscar weekend, and I said it was time to watch more Oscar-nominated movies. So I went to two of them. The first was Ford Ferrari, or Ford v Ferrari. I saw it at the Discount Theater in Maplewood. Or I sometimes call it Maple Weird because I had a date with a Cougar at the Maplewood Mall many years ago, and it was just plain weird. I've done that bit before, but...
Tell us about it.
Let's see. She said she was Cajun, and that made her Indian, and she just ran together saying that she was both, and that's not the way she said it. She looked like an Oklahoma State flag with her earrings, and she gave me children's books about diabetes. Two problems with that. I don't have any kids, and I don't have diabetes, but she was still proud of it because I guess she, in some way, worked on creating that book. And I actually kept one of those books as a reminder of the weirdest date I've ever had. Comics like to tell jokes about cougars, and it was a one-and-done date, but I got my story about dating a cougar. So there we go. So yeah, Maplewood. I go see the Ford Ferrari movie there, and it's like, well, I guess I'm a man. I need to see a manly movie every so often. And I realize that sports really helps with proving manliness. And hey, it does have some connections to my favorite movie, Good Will Hunting. Matt Damon is in both. and both movies don't have very many women in them. Well, I own 2 Ford Mustangs. They do depict the debut of the Ford Mustang in it, so that meant something to me. And, I mean, it was pretty realistic. The camera shots in there made you feel like you're right in the middle of the action, the fast-paced racing scene. So, yeah, I'm thankful I went. I will admit it was a lot more fun to watch that movie than the other one that I saw the next day. I went to see Marriage Story. Yeah, the one about divorce. I knew what I was getting myself into. But those stories need to be told. So I was fine with it. Although I will notice that there was a couple that walked out, it appeared, during the movie, and it was in a scene where there was arguing. Well, I kind of expected there would be some arguing in a movie about divorce. So I just can't believe that people don't understand what they're signing themselves up for. But I never bothered to ask them if that was why they were leaving. I just assumed. Because it's like, all right, I'm just there to watch the movie. I don't want to talk to people and get thrown out. So, hey, if they need to leave for whatever reason, then good, do that. So there was that. And trying to think of the other big thing that happened recently. Oh, right. I did another show as the blogger for a friend. It's pretty cool, where I'm like the balladeer on Dukes of Hazzard, played by Waylon Jennings on the TV show. And I got to meet a Barbra Streisand impersonator there. And it's like, well, I actually like knowing that there are impersonators doing more than just Elvis Presley, because it can get boring when that's the only impersonator you ever see. But hey, I'm a stodgy academic, I'm a history major, I've been to the Minnesota History Center in St. Paul, not far from here, and I've seen presidential impersonators. So I guess there are all different types of people you can impersonate. And it's good that, or even Charles Schultz, who did the Charlie Brown comic strip. So, of course, what I'd expect out of an impersonator is not just looking the part, but also acting the part. She was pretty convincing as Barbra Streisand, so hey, my hat is off to her. And then we had lunch after that, and I liked hearing more about her being an impersonator. She actually goes to conventions dedicated to that. It's like, oh, that must be a lot of fun, all the different impersonators you meet there. So I would have liked hearing more stories about that. Maybe I will later on, who knows? I mean, we're all interconnected. We're performers after all. We understand the need to perform. So there was that. Oh, I gotta go. Bye.